Welcome. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, good night, whatever you are in the world. Welcome to Advanced Trainings with Petra. I'm sorry I'm a bit late. My Zoom has literally froze and I had to kind of go out and go in. And it's still a bit slow. So hopefully you can hear me. Hopefully everything runs smoothly tonight because technology can be tricky. So, welcome to tonight's advanced training, and we are talking about detoxification with Healy tonight. I'm just going to pop the details here in the chat for everyone. If you are after the recording afterwards, and if you're not a part of the Facebook group, yes, with recordings, I'm going to pop the link in here. Just make sure to tick the checkbox before the rules so you can accept the rules. Otherwise, it's not going to accept you in because of the compliance. So we need the rules. But that's about it. So this month has been all about the body, right? We have been diving deep into our physical body, and I've been trying to keep it really simple for you so you can actually start exploring your body and start understanding the messages of the body and using the Healy as a bridge in order to support your physical body, because we've looked at the emotional part, we've looked at the energetic part and how our bodies actually work. And the only thing before we go into detoxification that I would really like to say to everyone, and this is just based on the quantum teachings and the quantum field that we are actually working with. When it comes to the body, there is no difference between energetic, emotional, or physical body. Yeah. What do I mean by that? So healing our body or creating an environment to heal, for the body to heal itself, is no different than transforming an emotion, and is no different than guiding the energy through the body to actually either expand it or contract it. So we've talked about this in manifestation, and I really want to add this tonight before we go into a deep dive into the physical, because our brain, our 3D brain, tends to kind of get stuck in I'm feeling the pain, this is what's wrong with me, I need to fix this, I need to change this. And I really want you to start thinking about and experiencing yourself on a spiritual level more than stuck on a physical plane. So anything that's happening within the body can be transformed as fast as you decide to shift your state of being. That doesn't mean that, you're going to have spontaneous healings within the body right away. No, it depends on the contracts your body and the soul has made. So don't be, no, let's reframe that. Be patient with yourself when healing on a physical level, because your body knows why you need to go through a certain process, because you are learning certain lessons through that process. So I know it's hard because we are feeling that on a physical body even more. But I want you to understand that there's a reason why you're not, spontaneously healed overnight. Because there's a reason, there's lessons in there that you need to get in your physical 3D brain, your mind and your thought patterns, how you feel and the state of being you're in currently. Yeah. And literally holding the space for that state of being. And when you actually align, we've talked about this in manifestation, when you align how you think about yourself and about the situation that you're in that you want to fix, but you can't. Yeah. How you feel about it, and what actions are you doing in order to shift it. So when those things are aligned, then the physical shift will happen. But make sure that you are kind to yourself on this journey, and make sure that you are patient with yourself, because if you are not patient and you're pushing, what's going to happen in energetic field is you're closing the doors. So there's no energy flowing through because your mind is actually suppressing it. So just a framework when we're working with the body, because we are going to have a mixture of things moving into the next 3 to 4 months. So just have that in mind, because I really want you to understand that the shift only happens when you become a completely different person. When you start thinking differently, when you start feeling differently, when you actually, your actions reflect those feelings and thoughts, then the physical shift happens. I get goosebumps. Okay. Now let's deep dive into the physical, where our 3D brain can actually comprehend things and we can have some tangible things to work with. Have in mind that today's session is full on again, because these are things that I really, really compressed for you to make it simple, but we could actually do a session on each of these organs. Yeah, so just make sure that these are foundations and simplistic ways of thinking, but it actually gives you an insight for you to start listening to your body. And this is what I would like to achieve, for you to use Healy as a reflection, as an insight to actually start a communication and a relationship with your own body, because your body knows everything. Yeah, I have no idea, but my body does. Yeah, so I've learned a lot and I went through a lot in my life, but I have no idea. Yeah, I've literally have in my 3D brain a fraction of who I am and a fraction of my knowledge. And your 3D brain is only here to understand the current situation. Your higher self, your essence, is here to guide you directly to what you need in order to transform. So, building the relationship with your body through the knowledge and through the connection and listening and responding will actually get you to the results that you want. And a Healy is an amazing tool for you to actually start that connection and that relationship with your body. Yeah. And there is no other way. I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but there is no other way to the outcome of healing and being healed, because Healy doesn't do that. Yeah. Healy doesn't treat, cure anything. Yeah. We are creating the space for that. But the only way to get to that outcome, to become a healed person and have no issues in the body, is through. Is no other way around, or distracting yourself with other, shiny object. Maybe that will help. Maybe that will help. I am sorry to burst your bubble, but the only way to the outcome of being healed is through the pain, through the, facing yourself and the emotions, through literally allowing to release whatever needs to come through. And when you actually embrace that, and I'm saying this because detoxification will challenge you. Yeah, it will challenge you on a physical body. And with everything that you've probably been taught through your lives, is that if your body is feeling aches and pains, and if your body is feeling a bit sick and nauseous, yeah, there's something wrong with you. Yeah, so I'm not saying that you should not check with your doctor. Please do. Make sure that you have a team around you that has the knowledge to actually support you, and for you to actually go and check with people that have more knowledge than you, your doctors, your general practitioners, whatever you have, naturopaths, whatever you have around you. But just wanting to let you know that what we normally call, and this is just a framework, yeah, of I'm being sick, yeah, is what I would like to today introduce you to a different concept. Is when we feel that we are sick, quotations, yeah, because we're not, our body is actually going through a healing process. And as soon as we start suppressing that, our body can't heal. So just letting you know, this is going to challenge you to go out of the box. And this is what I do here. Yeah, is literally challenge you to redefine how you think, how you feel, and how you actually create your reality. And yes, I understand that that is not for all of you, but I just want to do a framework today because when I'm giving you the protocol today, it is my protocol that I've tested on myself and people around me and people in my team. And it uses a lot of different programs together. So it is going to test you, just letting you know, physically and emotionally. So I have added things in that will actually, other things to support yourself through the detoxification, and also how we're going to look at how some people do detoxification that is actually missing a lot of things. Yeah, and then we have results that we don't want. Okay. Okay, let's do this. I know, big framework, but it's needed. So let's share the screen so we can actually start. Bum, 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 bum. Just give me thumbs up if you do see my slides. Perfect, awesome. Okay, let's look at detoxification with Healy. So questions will be answered at the end, so I'll need to pile through this one because we have a lot. Don't stress, I will share the slides as well, like the photos, so you can actually download them so you can have those. I will also share the PDF of the protocol that I've prepared. But before we do anything, a disclaimer is needed. Healy or any Healy devices, Mac Healy included, are not a medical applications. Yeah, they do not cure, treat, mitigate, diagnose, or prevent any disease or medical conditions. So when you are asking me questions that are medical questions, I am not a doctor, yeah, and I can't answer those questions, and it's not compliant either, because Healy does not cure anything. Healy creates a balanced environment in the body, and balanced environment creates fresh water in the body. Yeah, so fresh water is like a fresh pond. Yeah, you have beautiful fishes in there, nice, greenery growing. But if there's not fresh water, and if it's clogged water and it's smelly water, then guess what's going to grow in there? Yeah. So we are creating a foundation for the healthy body, yeah, on all levels. So this is clear enough. Let's dive deeper. Okay, so what is detoxification? Yeah, so detox or detoxification is something that has been used quite often for the last 10 years. It is quite popular among a lot of people. Everybody lately does detoxification. Yeah, detox that, detox that. Why do we actually need it? Yeah, so let's look at what really detoxification is. So a definition of a detoxification is that it is a physiological or medicinal removal of toxic substances from a living organism, including the human body, which is mainly carried out by the liver. And we're going to look at the whole pathway so you understand how they connect to each other. But additionally, it can refer to the period of drug withdrawal, and this can be alcohol. And I will also add sugar here, yeah? And I will tell you why. During which an organism returns to homeostasis or balanced state after long-term use of an addictive substance. Why sugar? Yeah, I know everybody here loves sugar. Yeah, and I was one of them. So sugar actually, with research that they've done, activates the same part of the brain in your brain. Then let's look at the drug that it actually compares to is heroin. So sugar and heroin activate the same parts of your brain, and they're both addictive and they're both harmful. But heroin is a problem. You can get arrested for it. Sugar you can find in everything you buy in any store today, literally. In any packaged food, in any bread that you buy, and it's added to everything. Yeah? So it's kind of hard to avoid it until unless you actually cook at your home and know what you're putting in. Just letting you know, because sugar, when you actually go off sugar, it feels like addiction, and you're going to have withdrawal symptoms. Yeah. So just so to be clear, because that will be a part of detoxification. So why do we detoxify, and why do we need detoxification? Well, in essence, when our body is in balance, our body does that perfectly and so beautifully. And it does that every single day like a clockwork. Yeah. But why do we need detoxification? Well, because when toxins accumulate in the body, we need to support it, our body, to actually move them along. So where do these toxins come from, right? You ask. So we live in an environment, I live in a bush, there's no toxins. Yeah. Why should I do detoxification? Well, toxins are everywhere today. Yes, I'm sorry, I have to burst your bubble, but we don't live in a clear and clean environment anymore, no matter where in the world you are. Yeah. And I come from a country that we have the most cleanest waters and rivers in the world. Yeah. And you can still drink from them, but there's still toxins. Yeah. So where do they come from? They come from outside environment, they come from the inside environment. Yeah. And the toxins, so we have two types of toxins. One is toxin and one is toxicants. So what's the difference? So the toxin is actually, the definition is a term used to describe a poisonous substance produced by a living organism such as a plant, animal, or bacterium. So toxins can come from plants that you overuse, so it's an overdose. Yeah. It can also come from animals that contain toxins like hormones, vaccines, growth hormones, pesticides that they eat, from the food that they eat. So that's all in their bodies. And also certain bacteria in the body can cause certain toxins and actually cause trauma and even death sometimes. Yeah. So natural things are not all just across the board perfect. Yeah. But toxins can come also from emotions. So low contractive emotions like anger, shame, guilt. Yeah. Those actually create toxins within our body that liver and our detoxification pathway needs to clean out. And if they're not cleaned out, they actually are circling back into the blood circulation and our system, so affecting other organs and meridians throughout the body. So what are toxicants then? Well, the toxicants are actually man-made or synthetic substances that are poisonous to humans, animals, or the environment. So where do we find them? Everywhere. Your water, your air, your food, electromagnetic fields are also like agitating electromagnetic fields. Yeah. So are also toxicants, and too much frequency is also a toxin to the body because it's agitating your nervous system. So we need to understand that, in water, there's so many chemicals now today that when there was a research done on babies today are born with at least 250 different toxicants in their body. So this was taken out of the placenta blood, yeah, the core blood, and they actually measured 250 different toxicants. So just letting you know that your body's, you're breathing in, if you're living in a city, you're breathing in petroleum. Yeah. So that's smog in the air has all different chemicals. You might not have, feeling the effects of it, but long term, your body does. And your skin also is actually absorbing that into the layers. So we're going to look at why skin is important. Okay, so what also contributes to the clocking of the system? So let's look at the body. If we have too many toxins, it's like the clock, what do you call it? Toilet, yeah? So you can't just flush the water to make it better, yeah? You actually have to do something to remove that little thing that's clogging the toilet in order to actually move whatever's in there forward, so when you next time you flush, the water is not going to flood everywhere. Yeah. So the same thing happens within the body. So what is contributing to the congestion in the body. Not enough minerals. Why? So when we are drinking water, and we have a cell, yeah, let's say this is a cell and it's a membrane. So if there's not enough minerals and the cell doesn't have enough charge, what happens is the water stays outside of the cell. If there's enough minerals, the water goes inside of the cell. Why is that important? Because if you feel like you're a bit bloated, you're holding water in your body, you might need minerals in order to actually utilize that water. And why do we need water? To actually carry nutrients and minerals through cell and blood. So it's really important to understand that you can drink plenty of water, but if there's not enough minerals in the body, your body will not do anything. You literally just retain water in the body. What else? Stress contributes a lot to congesting the body in the pathways. Polluted air, water, additives in the food, there's plenty of them, hundreds of lists, and added hormones, hormones to the animals that you eat, added hormones in the water. So why would you find hormones in the water? Well, let's just say that contraceptive pills have been popular for a long time now, and when women pee, that goes into the water streams, and you will find a lot of hormones in the water, yeah, as chemicals, and different chemicals from your skincare, your cleaning products, things like that you're inhaling, that you're putting on your body. And also preservatives, heavy metals. So if you're eating a lot of fish, fish is really high in heavy metals, yeah, because the sea is high in heavy metals. The processed foods, of course, sugar, wheat, because gluten, especially wheat, has the species of wheat has been changed in the last, I don't know, 30 to 50 years. And it was made to actually be processed faster, and our body can't actually digest those toxins. So that is actually a toxin to the body. And if you ever heard of candida in your gut, that is natural occurring bacteria in our gut, and is the only bacteria that actually can digest these toxins from gluten that it has been processed. So if you have an overgrowth of candida, I will let you know that that is contributing to her growth, because candida is now helping you in the body to actually digest those toxins, so you don't die. Yeah, so that's how it actually goes in the body. So body does something for a reason. So my question to you from now onwards is, if you have any issues in the body, or if something happens through a detoxification process, ask yourself first, why is my body doing this? What is causing this, in order for my body to actually respond or react this way? Because otherwise, you're not building a relationship with your body, so you can't really understand what's going on behind it. And you're trying to, tackle the symptom instead of the cause behind it. Okay, so why we are doing detoxification? What are the benefits? So the benefits can be to promote gut health, which is really important. 75% of your serotonin, happy hormone, yeah, is created in your gut. And when you're going to look at the times that hormone is actually created as well. It can contribute to weight loss. It will boost your energy, help mental clarity, and increase nutrients absorption. Supports your immune system, contributes to better breath, healthier skin and hair, offers anti-aging benefits, and an improved sense of well-being. So all of those are benefits for you to actually help your body detoxify of all the chemicals and toxicants that you're breathing in and absorbing throughout the day. And it also supports bringing the detoxification organs into balance and an optimal performance. And we want that because organs regenerate, and we want to live, I don't know, unless you don't want to live longer, but you want to feel good, at least, no matter how young or old you are. Okay, basic foundations done. So let's dive into the detoxification pathways. So we have organs that are connected together that all form what we call a detoxification pathway. So the first one we have, so I've actually gave you a beautiful body silhouette. So we have our lungs, which are the breath of life. Yeah, literally. Yeah, lungs not only they keep us breathing and alive with oxygen, but they detoxify our body through breath. But also with breathing, we move the energy or ki, chi, prana, whatever you want to call it, through our body. It's like a pump, pumping the energy through the meridians and moving it through the body and through the heart. So lungs are connected with our nasal cavities through the throat as well as to the lungs. Yeah. So when we breathe in through the nose, there are these little hairs in the nose that actually trap all the dust, the pollen, spores, whatever we are breathing from the air, and other large particles that we might inhale. And they actually filter that before the air comes through. So that's the first detoxification process that actually happens within our nose. Smaller particles, which are actually unable to be filtered through the nose, are then traveling to the lungs, where they are then expelled from the airways in mucus. Yeah, so we need to understand that lungs always need to be they activate themselves with mucus. Yeah, so they always need to be lubricated. There's also tiny air sacs at the end of the bronchioles, which we call alveoli. Don't stress if you don't know the name, that's okay. They actually touch this little pathway of blood that's passing through these little bubbles, yeah, and it actually exchanges the blood and oxygen, yeah. So it's like carbon dioxide and oxygen are exchanged through the blood and through the mucus, and what is also carried through is the energy, yeah, the ki, the chi that actually goes through these blood pathways. And what we call breathing, right? So this is what happens. And the more we breathe and the more consciously we breathe, the more we can actually detoxify. So what happens if, for example, our body has too much toxins and liver can't actually digest everything? So whatever toxins the liver can't digest and it can't eliminate through the body, sometimes these little bubbles, yeah, in the lungs, they are quite permeable, yeah, because they have mucus. They're like water, yeah, based. So a lot of times those toxins can actually enter those little bubbles. The toxins that are floating in the bloodstream are entering those little bubbles in the lungs, and your body will naturally want to extract those. And what happens is we start coughing. We start coughing phlegm. Yeah. So when we say we are sick, yeah, what your body is doing is literally eliminating things that it can't normally eliminate with a natural detoxification pathway. So how do we support our lungs? This is the detoxification organ that's really important. And we normally take a look at the detoxification pathway first with the lungs. So we can avoid inhaling toxic chemicals such as smoking or vaping, even cleaning products that are quite high in chemicals. We don't want that because that can actually damage your lungs. We can improve our indoor air quality by bringing in more plants, especially cleansing plants, the ones that actually clean the air. Or we can use an air filter if you want to. The best way to actually detoxify your lungs, and it's free, it's aerobic exercise. So any cardio, walking, skipping, swimming, horse riding, yoga, whatever you want to do, is actually going to pump blood faster. So when you raise your heart rate, there's more blood pumping through the lungs and you breathe faster. That means there's more carbon dioxide going out and more toxins that are actually breathed out of your nose as well as your mouth. So make sure that you understand when you're under stress, your lungs, you're breathing shallow, meaning that you're breathing at the top of your lungs. And that means that the blood that actually needs to take care of the toxins and to breathe them out is actually going underneath your lungs, so on the bottom of your chest, meaning where the, how do you call that in English? I forgot that little muscle, flexible muscle that's underneath the lungs, diaphragm. So right above the diaphragm is where you have the most blood vessels in order to actually exchange the carbon dioxide and oxygen and all the toxins. So the deeper you breathe, the more toxins you actually expel. So when you're under stress, you're actually holding on to the toxins in the body, if that makes sense. Yeah. So the next organ that's really important on our detoxification pathway is kidneys. So kidneys, not only they filter the last part of toxins going out through water, they also energetically hold our life energy. So if kidneys are not performing well and adrenal glands are connected to kidneys, we probably would feel tired and fatigued. Yeah. So if that's the case, we need to look at our detoxification pathway, looking at what's happening and what's clogging and suppressing the energy to flow in order for us to actually feel better. So kidneys filter the blood through circulation. So the more you are active, the better circulation you have. If there is no circulation, you need to find a way to actually activate that. And kidneys are closely connected with the circulatory system and with the lymphatic system. And we're going to look at the lymphatic system with the skin. So toxin gets stored in the bladder. So kidneys filter everything through themselves through water, and they expel all the toxins into the bladder. They also expel minerals, because minerals are what bind, as well as protein is what bind the toxin. So when we are actually trying to detoxify the body, we need to add minerals, and we need to alkalize the body, and we need to actually add protein, be it plant or animal protein, whatever you are eating, but as long as it is clean and organic, yeah, because we don't want any toxicants extra in there to actually prevent our proper detoxification system. All of that is then filtered into the bladder, into our urine, yeah? So as there's, again, another thing that I would like to emphasize is minerals are really important to alkalize the body, and protein is really important to actually bind. Protein, healthy fat is actually important to bind the toxicants, because the toxicants need protein to bind in order to get eliminated out of the body. Yeah. So if you ever been on a juice fast or water fast, if you have done really high detoxification plants like celery or cabbage, yeah, you might have experienced vomiting after the 3rd day or the 5th day, yeah? Because when we're looking at the liver, and we're going to go into the liver now, liver has 3 stages of detoxification. And in the 2nd and 3rd stage, liver actually needs protein in order to bind the toxicants and toxins, in order to eliminate them out of the body. Why is that important? Because if liver doesn't have a protein to actually bind them, you can actually damage the liver. Because if you have a lot of toxicants in the body, yeah, I'm not talking when you actually have done a lot of detoxification processes and you've eliminated a lot of toxicants and toxins out of the body, then you can actually, are prepared to actually go on a long extended juice fast or water fast. Yeah. But at the beginning, when you're trying to detoxify things out of the body and you're holding a lot of toxicants, man-made chemicals in the body, if you are not adding the protein and healthy fats as well as minerals, you can actually lower the capacity of your liver for 25%. So just have in mind that detoxification process needs to be done slowly, and it needs to be done with supporting your body to start eliminating things out of the body, because we don't want it to go back into the bloodstream. Yeah. So how do we support kidneys? Water adding the minerals, that's the most important thing. If you actually want to alkalize your body even more, salt is really good, and lemon juice. Yeah, so you can actually make a liter of filtered water with 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, fresh lemon juice, do not do concentrate. And I normally do a teaspoon of salt, either pickling or canning salt or Celtic salt, whatever you have on hand. Himalayan salt is quite high in heavy metals, so I would opt in more for the Celtic salt or the pickling salt or canning salt. Okay, liver. Liver is the main detox or detoxification organ. So liver actually filters not only chemicals and toxins and toxicants, but also hormones or anything else that is actually going through the blood. It filters the blood non-stop, and her or liver's function is to actually keep your blood flowing beautifully. And liver is actually also the organ that actually creates the blood. So spleen and pancreas are the ones that are actually moving the blood through the body. Liver is the organ that actually creates the blood in the body. Yeah. And it's one of the most important organs. So for example, if your liver is not performing well, your gut will not perform well. So they're really connected together. And so it filters all the byproducts of digestion, particles we breathe in, and things that are absorbed through the skin. Skin is your largest organ. Yeah, so there's a lot of things that come through the skin that the liver needs to actually detoxify. So some toxins or toxicants that are not able to be used are sent out through kidneys, gallbladder, colon, or skin. So for example, if your liver as well as kidneys are not performing well, yeah, or they're at their best potential or performance, what's going to happen is the toxins that can't be eliminated any other way than through the liver or through the gut or through the kidneys will come out through your skin. So that means that your skin can get rashes, you can get itchy, you can get reactions to things that you normally don't. So because the body wants to eliminate things out of the largest organ, which is your skin, because it can't eliminate it otherwise. So if you have issues with your skin, I would thoroughly suggest to look at your liver. Yeah, because otherwise, if your liver is not performing well, your blood will not be clean and clear, and it will actually find detoxification pathways through the lymphatic system in order to eliminate the toxins. Yeah. So some toxins actually get reused back into the bloodstream. And if there is too much toxins, they get stored in the fat cells. So for example, before it comes out on the skin, women have that. So if the hormones are out of balance, so when we look at the priorities of the liver and how it detoxifies, so the first priority is your toxins. Yeah, so what's going to kill you? That's the first priority that liver will filter. Second is your hormones. So if you have too many toxins, the liver can't come to the hormones. So what happens, especially with women, is if you have estrogen dominance, and that's another topic for hormone balancing, but if you have estrogen dominance, and that's normally because of the estrogen that is man-made estrogen, not from phytoestrogens, man-made phytoestrogens, not plant-based, synthetic materials, liver can't actually process that properly. So it actually goes back into the bloodstream, and it goes round and round in circles. And the problem is that actually creates more synthetic estrogen, and your body actually starts lowering your own made estrogen, and that influences your progesterone, so it kicks your hormones out. And what happens is when your hormones are out and liver can't actually cope, the liver will actually store the toxins that can't be processed into fat cells. So you will actually start gaining weight and more fat either around the organs or on the body in order for the body to actually survive. So just have that in mind, especially with women, when hormones are out and liver is not performing well and your gut is not performing well, you will actually see it on the body. Okay, so how do we support it? So the first thing is to reduce any external toxins that you can get into the body and help the liver to actually perform its function more easily. Yeah. Um, so that means that it needs to detoxify less of the foreign object, so the liver can more perform on the body and what it does through the body and what the body needs. Um, and then intentionally reducing your exposure to environmental toxins and toxicants. Yeah. So what kind of water do you drink? What kind of air do you breathe where you live? Um, what kind of food do you eat? Do you eat conventional food that's sprayed with 500 different chemicals, or do you eat organic or spray free where there's more nutrients and your body can actually absorb them better? Do you actually use products that are conventional and have high chemicals that are carcinogenic, or do you have natural products that you use and put on your skin and cleaning for the house? So all of those things, the things to look at when we're healing the physical body, because if we're not eliminating those things, we're not going to see the shift on the physical body, because the body will try to keep up with what we are adding in instead of actually regenerating. We also need to understand that our organs actually naturally regenerate fully in a certain amount of time. For example, liver actually, if we use it in animation, right, we actually grow a new liver by changing and regenerating the cells in about 300 to 500 days. So the cells of the liver actually get regenerated every 300 to 500 days. So you can actually grow a new liver in that. It's a more natural organic process by shifting the stem cells, old cells with the new cells. But it takes about 300 to 500 days in order to actually regenerate liver fully. And it takes about 5 days to regenerate intestine cells. Yeah, so you can actually heal your gut in 5 days if you actually limited everything properly. Okay, gallbladder. Gallbladder is a little tiny thing that sits underneath the liver, and it actually stores your bile, which comes from the liver. The liver manufactures the bile, and bile is actually a liquid that contains various digestive enzymes that actually help body break down the fats, but it also contains some waste products from the liver. Yeah. So gallbladder, or bile in the gallbladder, is actually crucial especially to digest fats and protein. Yeah, because it actually has enzymes in there to digest it, because if it doesn't have enough digestive enzymes, the food that will go into the intestine will not break down properly and your body will not absorb it properly. Yeah. So digestive enzymes determine how much nutrients from the food we actually absorb in the colon. Yeah. So how do we support it? Raw vegetables and fruits are important for liver, especially bitter. So anything bitter is amazing for the liver. So dandelion tea. So if you have, for example, fresh dandelion, I grew up with dandelion salads, amazing. Yeah, and I miss them here in Australia. But dandelion, either raw, or you can buy dandelion roasted root tea, which is amazing for the liver. Milk thistle is one of the herbs to actually support your liver and regenerate it. Any fresh juices, green vegetables will support the beautiful liver. And also intentionally reducing your exposure to environmental toxins. So the more you eliminate, the better environment you're going to create. And of course, then we support our body with frequency in order to regenerate faster and eliminate things faster. So we kind of give direction to the body to come back to balance, so it becomes optimally, the information becomes optimally available for the body. Okay, and then we have the digestive system and the lymphatic system. So the digestive system is really important. As we know, our happy hormones get made there. Our absorption of the nutrients actually happens there. Whatever body doesn't actually use goes into waste, and then we eliminate it. We also need to understand the digestive system and the healing of the gut. It's a whole new topic. So we're not going to really go deeply into that today. It's a whole new protocol to tackle. But I will let you know this. If you are not eliminating every day, or at least once a day or twice a day, ideally twice a day or after every meal, yeah, that means your toxins are sitting in the body and they're getting absorbed back into the body. And if your body actually has compromised intestinal walls, meaning what we tend to call, either leaky gut or SIBO, yeah, the overgrowth of bacteria in the small intestine, or the leaky gut in the holes in the intestine wall in the large intestine. If your toxins are sitting there and the waste is sitting there, yeah, and you're not eliminating every day or multiple times a day, they get absorbed back into the bloodstream. So you are actually absorbing the toxins, not the nutrients. And it's actually damaging your lining of the gut. Yeah. And you're actually creating what I call a zoo. Yeah. So you have a zoo of different bacteria that are overgrowing the beneficial bacteria because there's too many toxins sitting in there. So the digestive system in itself, it literally has a function to slowly absorb everything and eliminate toxins as fast as possible. And what actually digests all that waste or that nutrients that are going into the gut is your microbiome. So the little zoo that I've been telling you about, that's the bacteria or the microbiome, which is the whole entire system in our body. And if we're looking on a physical level, we are actually made out of bacteria. Yeah. So just letting you know that if you're trying to fight bacteria, you're not going to win because there are too many of them. So we are made out of them. They are all over our skin, in every part of our organ. They're there to actually support us and help us. They are a community of different types of bacteria that are actually cleaning up our body. They're regenerating our body. They're digesting things in order for us to actually absorb the nutrients that we need. And our responsibility for our body is to keep that little zoo, the microbiome, balanced. So there's no, we're not feeding the bullies and then, suppressing the little guys that want to help us. So those are the things that we really need to be aware of what we are investing and ingesting, so our body has the balance that we need. And that can also be done with frequency. There's programs to do that as well. Why do we need to balance the microbiome? Because our immunity lies in our gut. So if your gut health is poor, your immunity will be poor. So, and your inflammation will be high. So just letting you know, bacteria are really important for your immune system, and you can add and help your gut with probiotic, prebiotics, and that could be also foods. You don't need to actually buy them. There's a lot of different ways to actually support your gut. There's also fermented foods that have been used for centuries to actually cultivate certain bacteria in the gut. Of course, healthy lifestyle and some herbs that you can actually start balancing the little zoo within you. And then the lymphatic system. Lymphatic system and skin are the two things that are quite overlooked. Yeah. We think that the majority of other organs will do all the detoxification, but we actually forget that if we don't have enough minerals and we have too much water outside of the cell, the toxins will start floating through the lymphatic system. And the lymphatic system is all this. It's through the body, these little veins, yeah? And they actually flow underneath your skin. So when we have the skin really clogged and congested, the toxins, and we can't sweat properly, the toxins actually don't evaporate and it can't be expelled out of the body. And the lymphatic system actually helps to manage the fluids, and helps our immune system. It actually boosts our immune system. If we eliminate the toxins, it actually helps to boost our immune system. As we know, skin is our largest organ, and it's also your first defense system to the environment that you live in. Yeah. So how do we support it? How do we support the skin? How do we support the lymphatic system? So anything that can improve your circulation may also help to improve your lymphatic drainage. Yeah. So any exercise, swimming, saunas, anything that raises your heartbeat will actually move the blood through the body. Also consider things like exercise, whatever type of exercise you would like. Dry brushing, if you haven't heard of dry brushing, it's an old technique to actually move the lymphatic system and the toxins out. Gua sha. Gua sha is a technique of this little putty made with bicarb soda and vodka, triple distilled vodka, and it actually cleanses the skin and opens up the pores. That means that the toxins can actually be eliminated, as well as bicarb soda is highly alkaline, so it actually helps to alkalize the body and kill any bacteria that is overgrowing or congesting your skin and preventing your toxins to move out. Saunas are amazing, especially kniping in Europe, cold, hot. Combinations actually build your immune system and move your lymphatic system really well. Okay, the pathway is done. Now we understand how our bodies actually perform detoxification or detox on their own. So how do we now support it if we don't know what to do, yeah, and where to start? So what are the foundations before we actually can start the detoxification? First, you need to start reducing the toxins in your life, exposing yourself to natural things and eliminating things that are actually harmful for your body. That means that you will need to actually look at your lifestyle, what you eat, what you drink, what you clean with, what you put on your body. So really do an overhaul of things in your life, and you can do it step by step. Just choose one thing, look at that, and build on that. And then slowly build on other things as well. So slowly you will have a circle around to actually see, to change your lifestyle, the way you live. Also, it's also easy to start with some healthy diet changes. Yeah, so ingestion and what we put in our body is really important. So for example, things that are really toxic in diet are processed seed oils, like canola oil, yeah, like soybean oil, like corn, like sapphire oil. There's so many seed oils that are processed chemically and they're actually toxic for your body. So swap them out for coconut oil or cold press avocado or cold press olive oil. Yeah. If you have organic grass-fed butter and if you like the animal products, that's actually a good choice as well. Then buy as much organic as possible. Grow some of your own vegetables if you can. Yeah. Switch from conventionally farmed meats, if you eat meat, to grass-fed or pasteurized or free range or organic if you can, wild caught fishes if you can. Avoid highly processed foods and fast food. Anything packaged, just stay away from it. Yeah. The closer to nature, the better, because that's what your body understands. Then consider including fermented foods or drinks. Yeah, for example, like kimchi, sauerkraut, kombucha, or kefir. You can have dairy kefir, like yogurt kefir, like the milk kefirs, or you can actually have water kefirs. I use water kefirs, and they're amazing. And this will actually help to build up the probiotic and prebiotic bacteria in your gut. Make sure that you are generally getting a good balance of nutrients in your diet, so proteins and low carbohydrates. Yeah, carbohydrates come from vegetables, not bread. Yeah, so because that actually is acidic for your body, it does not alkaline your body. That also means including healthy fats like avocado, olive oil, coconut oil, and high quality protein, be it plant-based protein or animal protein, and variety of plant foods. Make variety. Don't just use one. Of course, limiting alcohol. Alcohol is actually not only toxic for your body, but the liver doesn't know how to digest it. So when liver is trying to digest alcohol, it actually produces a known cancer-causing chemical in order to actually eliminate it out of the body. So it's really not only harmful for the liver itself, but also for the entire body. Sleep is important, crucial for detoxification. Why? We looked at the organ clock last week, and I've told you that we're going to look at the times when the detoxification starts. So detoxification starts at 10 p.m. at night and finishes at 5 a.m. in the morning. And then we move into the large intestine meridian. And the elimination of the toxins should happen between 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. in the morning. So you should actually go to the toilet. I'm sorry, I'm going to be really direct here. Number 2, between 5 and 7. Yeah, because that's where that means that your detoxification through the night actually happened properly. So your body is actually doing things smoothly. So you are supporting it properly. So if you actually don't go to bed before 10, what happens is in those 2 hours between 10 and 12 or midnight, your body actually activates all your detoxification pathways before it goes and moves into liver at 1 o'clock. So what happens is your all activation of the body happens and your serotonin levels are made, like 80% of your serotonin throughout the whole day is made between 10 p.m. and 12 p.m. So if you feel really moody in the morning, or if you feel like you're tired, or if you feel like, you're not really motivated, trust me, if you go to bed before 10, you will have more energy, because that's where the melatonin for the sleep balance, happens. Serotonin, which is a happy hormone, actually gets produced. And if you're missing those 2 hours, you're actually doing damage to your body, because your body will start catching up, and it will play catch up for a long time before you actually give it the time it needs to regenerate. So make sure you get enough sleep, that it's deep sleep. If you have problems with sleeping, please use Healy sleep programs, which are amazing. My favorite one is Vocal Stimulation 6, which is insomnia, and which I love truly. Water, added minerals, it lubricates your joints, it regulates your temperature, it aids in digestion, and also nutrient absorption. It also detoxifies your body by removing waste products. So water, hydrogen water, mineral water, all of those are really important to actually help the cell get rid of the toxins and literally hold the voltage in the cell. Also, reducing your intake of sugar and processed foods. Yeah, this is really important. This also means fruits. Yeah, I'm not saying eliminating fruits out of your body. No, fruits are really healthy. But if you're thinking that, oh, I don't eat chocolate and I don't eat ice cream and I don't eat the processed sugar stuff, but I'll just make this healthy dessert that's full of date syrup or date paste or whatever there is, it's still sugar. Yeah, so dates are really high in sugar. So you really need to be mindful that our body, when we were in the past, we had honey or dates only in the seasons. Yeah, so and even that was in small quantities. So our body is not used to processing sugar in huge quantities. So make sure that you are mindful of how much sugar in whatever form you're actually bringing into the body. And we all know that, there's been research now done that actually sugar and highly processed foods actually are linked to obesity and other chronic diseases, because they actually raise inflammation in the body. And when the inflammation is raised, there's too much toxins and your body doesn't know what to do with that. And other issues as well. So these are your foundations before you move into the protocol. Make sure that you do your best. I'm not saying you need to be perfect, but make sure that you're honoring your body and you're actually listening to your body and what it's telling you need to either eliminate, you need to add, And it's going to be a trial and error. This is not a process of saying this is the only way to do it. No, you need to listen to your body. This is just a foundation so you can start with something, and then you need to listen. Yeah, otherwise it's not going to work because we are on a quantum field. Okay, so I'm going to guide you through a protocol. I'm not going to go through the protocol today. I'm just going to show you the protocol. We're going to give you the PDF. It's all with days, and I gave you everything you need to know. And I'm going to pop these slides in the Facebook group as well, so you can actually have them. But if you start these detoxification protocol, please make sure you do a deep cycle protocol before this, because deep cycle is going to open up the detoxification pathway. And when we are detoxing organs, we want to have the detoxification pathways, keep them clear and open. Because if we are eliminating a lot of toxins, now the liver will start dumping things into the gut. So we actually need to support the whole process in order to actually have that open so you can eliminate things out. Yeah. So if you haven't done the deep cycle, please don't do this, because you're going to clog up the system. Yeah. And you're going to have a lot of healing crises. Yeah. Like diarrhea. Yeah, so when liver actually dumps a lot of toxins in the gut and the gut can't handle it, your body will find a way to eliminate the toxins really fast. And the first thing that it will do, it will actually create diarrhea in order to push all the toxins out. Either diarrhea or vomiting, depending on where the toxins are actually eliminated, in what stage. Yeah. So I'm not saying that this is what you're going to do and this is what's going to happen. I'm just saying that please do other protocols before this, before you go into the deep dive of detoxification. Yeah. So if you've done other stuff before, please, you're more than welcome to use it. Of course, deep cycle foundations are really important, and the detox protocol will be available in the Facebook group. Drink plenty of water, add minerals. If you can, I would certainly suggest to exercise at least 30 to 60 minutes a day. You can only do walking. You don't need to do a lot. Just walk, yeah, because that will actually stimulate the lymph. Brisk walking is good. Any fascia exercises, stretching the tissue, the connective tissues, because that will open up the pathways to eliminate the toxins. It will also release the emotions and the stagnant energy in the body. Also resting the nervous system. When we are detoxifying, our body's nervous systems are getting agitated. So if you are full on under stress, I would not suggest you to go on this. Yeah. So just have in mind that we need to actually support our nervous system while we are detoxing the body, because there's a lot of toxin moving through the body into the bloodstream and then influencing our nervous system. So sleep is important, grounding, relaxation. If you can do saunas, if you can do things that actually support you, that's really important. Lymphatic system, as I said, Epsom salt baths are really beautiful to detoxify. If you can add diatomaceous earth either to your bath or to your smoothies to actually help the gut and bind the toxins to get out. Dry brushing or gua sha scrub would also help to eliminate toxins through the skin. Sweating, as I said, sauna. If you are in Queensland, in Australia, you can just go for a walk in the morning. You'll be fine. You'll be sweating like a piggy. Yeah, so that's kind of what we do. It's a free sauna. But if you don't, and if you're in a colder climate, then please find something that's hot enough for you. Otherwise, just warm shower or hot shower with scrubbing or dry brushing would work too. And then a clean whole food diet. The closer to nature, the better. Yeah. Okay, and I'll post those things on in Facebook as well. Let me just stop sharing and I'll show you the protocol that I've done so you can actually understand. Where are you? Nope, this one. Okay. Let me see if I can share this. No. Okay. 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 How do I do this? This one is not working. Let's see if this one works. I didn't do anything, did I? You can't see my... Oh, can you? Can you see my... Can you see the protocol? Can you see the protocol week 1? Okay, perfect. Because Zoom is showing me that it's not. Okay, no worries. So I've actually gave you week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. So you have all the days of all the programs. Literally just before this session, I've realized that when I was looking into the Heal Advisor search module, there's few of the programs that have the same name. So I'm just going to tweak them, add the icons of where you can find them and which list of program it is. So you can actually find them, and then I'll post that into the Facebook group. But it has a week of lungs and kidneys, which are the first detoxification organs that need to be cleared. Yeah. And then we move on to your liver, your spleen, your pancreas, your gallbladder. And we also have some deep cycle programs in there to clear out the gut. So you can actually start eliminating toxins. Yeah. But I have a separate gut protocol specifically for gut healing and cleansing, because it is an entire 1.5 to 2 months program. Yeah, because the gut, especially if there's a lot of toxins, we need to kind of support the healing of the intestine walls before we actually have the change. Yeah. So this will be posted into the Facebook group. If you have any questions when you see the PDF, please tag me and ask me in the Facebook group. But it should be clear. Every day, morning and afternoon, you have 2 programs per day, and always the 7th day is the rest. Yeah, so no frequencies. When you finish the protocol, you will see that there's 3 days of rest, and I gave you some supporting foods and what to do. So you have those added on, so you can actually support your detoxification after the program protocol ended. And then after the protocol, in the 3-day rest, I would actually suggest you to go and do a 1 spiral protocol of gold cycles, which comes to almost a week, a bit less. Yeah. So it actually works on the systemic body, all the systems of the body, to actually build up the immunity, the systems to actually be activated. So you can actually start activating the whole body before you go into anything else. Yeah. So this is the protocol that I've been using. It's the protocol that I had other people use as well. And if you are doing it, please let me know your feedback. Would love to hear it. And if you are faced with any challenges, just post in the group, and I will come in and respond to you as well. Yeah. If you are sending me private messages, please be kind to me. I'm full on with all the messages, so I probably won't respond right away. I do my best as much as I can. But if you do have challenges or anything, just post them into the group. Yeah, I'll probably be responding in the group faster. Okay, that was a lot today, yeah, but we kind of shrink everything into one session, and then we're moving through that, yeah? Okay, we have 2 hands up, and then I'll go through the questions in the chat. Tapan Kumar, please let me know what you would like to ask.
What we find that the first day I heard about Healy, I thought, is it possible? I wondered whether it is possible not to take nutrition digitally and without any food, can it be done? But now what you are telling, it seems that food is also very important, like rest and other things are very important. So only vibration, can it help to get a good health, nutrition?
I'm so sorry. So I can hardly hear you. So if I understand you correctly, I'm just going to repeat what you said, what I heard. So if frequency device or Healy and frequencies can help, even if we don't change the foods or anything else, is that correct?
More or less okay. Frequency is the only thing which can help in getting the nutrition properly. without proper
to getting, sorry, to getting, so frequency is the only thing that can help to get what? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear that last
by
part.
vibration only can we get the proper nutrition without having enough nutrition or proper nutrition.
Aha, okay. Okay, so I'm gonna start again. So with frequency, if your body is out of balance, yeah, and if your water is so stale and smelling, yeah, like your body's organs are not performing properly, and you haven't been really supporting your body for a long time really well. If you're just starting to apply frequency, yeah, and you're expecting that it's going to do all the work magically, I will have to say that yes, it will eventually, but you will have to change something on a physical if you want a faster change. Yeah. So I'm not saying that it can't do that. Of course it can, like it's a quantum field, but you also need to work with it, right? So it's a combination of how do I become a different person while using the frequency, right? So it's not like this is a device that's going to magically heal me, because Healy doesn't do that. Yeah. What we put in, we get out. That's what how quantum field works. So if your body has been depleted for a long time, you will need to shift your lifestyle in order to raise your frequency of the body. But then at the same time, you will actually vibrate that frequency, that's faster and higher frequency, into the body. And both you as the body and mind and emotion and frequency as Healy will come together in alignment. And that's where you're going to actually see the physical results. That's what I actually pre-framed at the beginning. So frequency is really, really important. But we need to understand is the same thing when we actually say we go to a healer and healer is going to heal me. Yeah. Healer is not going to heal you. Nobody can heal you. Yeah. Healers energetically, they just literally create a frequency space that is at that frequency where your body's healed. But it's your choice, because we have free will, if we actually decide to meet that frequency. So are we willing to change our thoughts? Are we willing to change how we feel and believe about that state? And are we willing to actually make that action? Action can be small, it doesn't have to be huge. But if you have issues on a physical body, of course you can use Healy and you can use it for a long time, and eventually you will have changes because the frequency will start changing within you. But if you want faster changes, then I always say combining tools will give you better results. Does that make sense?
Thank you very much. I got my
You are
answer.
you are welcome. Okay. So next one is okay, who's next one? RK. Let me just pop you in here, ask you mute. Here you go.
Hey, hi, Petra. Thank you so much.
Hi.
Gratitude to you, and it's a great insight. In last training I attended, I informed you I diagnosed with AVN, avascular necrosis, both the bilateral at hip joint, right and left. And it was unfortunately last 2 weeks back. I checked it, scanned it, and it progressed one stage ahead, and I'm
Beautiful.
going for stem cell therapy where they taken my bone marrow, and it will be sent to laboratory, and 1 month after that the core decompression and surgery is planned in April. So at the same time, I feel that I'm using Soul Cycle helped me to acceptance program, right, where I used, and the day I used that, and I got a mind that I have to check it, whether it is progressing or not. Maybe Haley is helping me either way. It's like it's helping me in get treatment from as well. So, and I just wanted to know, since I'm using a Soul Cycle, and then I'm using some of the programs from which are suggested by seniors, like Blood Harmony 6, which are good, especially joint programs and the revitalization programs. How can I use the detoxification and then a regeneration where the stem cell is also working? So I wanted to know how combined things can
I
get me
wouldn't.
cure the avian
I
and then
So my suggestion would be, this is mine, yeah, and I always say check with
Mhm.
yourself, yeah, and how you would like to and how your body would like to approach things. But I always say shifting things in the body is like building a house, yeah. So if you are literally rebuilding your body back, yeah. So if you want to build a house, you need to build the right, like a strong foundation. And then you need to build the walls. And then you need to kind of fill up the walls. And then you need to build the roof. And then you need to build everything inside, right? So the same happens with the body. Yeah. So if we are wanting to actually go, because what this detoxification protocol is and what deep cycles are about is literally going into the root cause of situations, yeah, in the body. So what we're doing, we are building a foundation. So we're not just looking at the symptoms and tackling the symptoms. We are looking at the root cause of what's happening in the body, and we are actually tackling that to actually regenerate and rebuild that so we have a strong foundation. So my suggestion is to ask yourself, do you want to actually support yourself through whatever is going on currently, yeah, and just use the Healy to actually have the support and then tackle the foundation later, yeah, or you can go and tackle the foundation now and start doing the deep cycles. If you haven't done the gold cycles, but then deep cycles, then doing the detoxification and really looking at the body, how to lower the inflammation, how to build and rebuild and regenerate, right? If you don't want to go in that depth, that you need to check with yourself, yeah, how you want to approach it. But if you are looking at what you were saying to me, then I would say combining, if you're doing the soul cycle, you can combine other programs like bioenergetic vitalization if you do have it, yeah, because bioenergetic
Yes.
vitalization is amazing on a DNA level. And it actually really goes into the roots. So, and you can also start doing the deep cycle if you want to, and you can just add, just make sure don't do more than 3 programs a day, and you can add into like the deep cycle, you can just do the whole deep cycle without any other programs, and then you can add on bioenergetic vitalization, and you can add on all your programs that you've been using for the blood and things like that, yeah. So but these cycle will
Mhm.
actually look at the entire system anyway, yeah, so it would actually clear
Mhm.
out the clog and the toxins underneath, yeah, and then you will have a different approach if you're going through surgery and everything else, yeah. So there's 2 ways to tackle this, but I would check with your body of what you feel is right for you, yeah.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much. And as per your suggestion, I brought the book and started reading The Secret of Language of Your Body,
Cool.
this Anna Sagel, and it's amazing.
Ina Ina will be
Thank
happy.
you so
I will let
much.
Ina know that people
Uh,
are excited about her book. Thank you, RK. Have a great night. I'll
yeah,
just
yeah.
okay. So next one is I don't know how to pronounce it, but Rachna. Sorry if I pronounced it incorrectly.
No, it's fine. Yeah, I'm Rachna.
Rachna, perfect. How
You
can I
pronounced.
help?
So, so Mike, it's more like a sort of what you've gone through now. I just wanted to sort of compile it, what I understood it correctly or not. But what you basically said was that if we keep our body sort of hydrated and keeping sort of in a in a fitness mode, then the frequency healing that we are doing is going to work even better, isn't it?
Yes, correct.
That's what you said, right?
Correct.
So I don't have sort of major issues with me at the moment. How I've been using Healy for a month and a half now.
Beautiful.
And the results are amazing, I must say that. Obviously, I was one of the person who does Reiki healing for past 20
beautiful.
years. Yes. So it didn't take me a lot of time to understand this because I kind of picked it very quickly. So, I mean, I have an autistic son, which I think I bought this in my past questionnaire as well. I have an autistic son. He is 16 years old, and I have been giving healing with the Healy to him as well, and I can see some changes. However, I can see that he is sort of, gone a little bit hyper as well. So, do you think it's something to do with the Healy, or it's just his age, or is it something
As I
that
said, I am not a doctor, so I can't actually give you advice on that because I don't know his situation personally. But
he's high functioning?
autistic,
He's high functioning.
yes,
He just fall under the spectrum.
that's okay. This is my perception, and this is not, this is just me. Take it or leave it, right? But
Yeah.
any of the kids that are labeled this way or that way, for me, and probably as doing Reiki, these kids their brain are just processing quite differently. So, and these are completely new generations of new energies coming to Earth, and I think we are just getting used to the new way of processing the data and information that these kids are actually doing. And I think their way of processing is quite faster than ours. And my perception to that is, if there's any physical issues or anything that, emotionally, that these kids are challenged with, we can help them and support them. But on the other hand, is my question would be, to understand him better, of how he's truly processing and how he's actually behaving, not in our own perception, but in his own way. And maybe looking at, as maybe that's not a bad thing, but how can we meet them there? That will be my perception. Because if we tend to go from this limited Western way of thinking, of, if it doesn't fit in a box, we need to fix it, right? There's nothing to fix, because from a quantum space or quantum point of view, everything is divine and everything needs to be as it needs to be. So we also don't know, if I stretch your brain even further, especially because you work with Reiki, we know that when we as souls come here on this physical plane, we have certain contracts. So we don't know what his path is. We don't know why he chose this path, and we don't know, if that's something that he's really struggling. So or is it us struggling with the situation? So
it's mainly, I think, mainly he's a happy child. So if you see him, he is in his own world, and the way he thinks is very different. But obviously, we on the other side try to perceive things a lot. But as a mother, I think I understand. As a parents, we understand, and there are times when he will have his emotional breakdowns. But I don't want to get into all this because I don't want to waste everybody's
No,
time.
I understand. And in those times that he has emotional breakdowns, you can actually support him, right? You can actually support him with Healy, because of course, with his high functioning brain, in fast processing of the world, he can get overwhelmed because he's still in a physical body, right?
And
so
in these 2 months, I've seen the change. So I've done a program for him, which I've been using IMF, because selecting each program every day, I didn't really understand. So obviously I spoke to, the person who referred me, and obviously he sort of guided me to do an IMF, which I did. And my son is so intelligent that he's doing it himself now. And he understood the whole thing about the Healy. And now, before we was doing healing with our palms, right? When we do the Reiki. But this time, obviously, he's using the digital and obviously the manual. So we're kind of clubbing it together. And
Beautiful.
within 2 months, I've seen amazing results. I mean, obviously, there are certain things which I can still see in him. But if I see the overall picture, he's doing absolutely brilliant. And I'm really, really amazed and, thankful for the Healy that
is
has come up.
beautiful. And I know a lot of Reiki practitioners that use Healy during their sessions because it actually expands their sessions and their
It
work.
expands the horizon. Yeah, it's just a very sort of, it's just like from a manual thing is converted into a digital, and which is making it faster.
And what I love about Healy is, and I use energy all the time, is that it actually helps me, for example, to see things that on a physical level, my emotions are preventing me to see. So Healy doesn't have emotions. It's quite, clean and really pragmatic. Yeah. So it just tells you the truth of what it is present. So there's no attachment to it, which is amazing. So you can get really good insight. Is there a question that you wanted to ask specifically that you need support with?
I just wanted to know the programs that I mean, my entire family is using it for different things, but mainly I have an issue of indigestion quite a lot. It's been quite a few years now. I'm a mother of 3 kids, and living here in UK, as you know, we have to do everything our own. It can be hard, overwhelming at times. So what is the specific program that I should be using?
As I said, healing the gut, is a whole entire protocol. But if I would start with something, I would definitely start with deep cycles. Yeah, there's a beautiful program in there called Digest All, and it's amazing in any indigestion situation. Yeah. So, but if you start the deep cycle protocol, I would really love to know what your experience is, but I'm sure that you will find some relief in there. Yeah. And then if there is an interest and if we have time in the next few months, we might take a look at the gut healing protocols as well. But otherwise, you have gastrointestinal support. Meridians are also really important. If you go and look at the trainings that we've done for the meridians, and there was state of balance. I went through the bioenergetic harmony, which are programs that you can use for digestion as well. So you can find those information in the previous trainings.
And just a quick one. So if I put this on the IMF schedule, will that create the schedule for me and I can do that on a daily basis?
You can, or you can just you can write in the Healy Advisor search app, and you can write digestion, and you just choose the top package that comes up, and it will give you certain programs, and you can actually use that in IMF schedule if you would like to.
Okay, yeah, that's brilliant. Thank you very much. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes.
Thank you for the question. Okay, so next one. Oh my goodness, we have a line. Rashmi, would you like to ask your question? Rashmi?
Hi, Petra. You said vodka has to be mixed with something that alkalizes your body.
That is for gua sha. So that's a technique. You mix bicarb soda. You can actually Google it. You mix bicarb soda and triple distilled vodka. Yeah, because vodka was like alcohol used to be used to cleanse the skin and the wounds. And it actually helps to open up the pores, but the triple distilled vodka actually evaporates off the body and kills whatever bacteria on the surface of the skin. But you can actually Google gua sha online, and you will find recipes for it. It's really simple to do, and you actually do it in the shower.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, next one is Augustine.
Good afternoon, ma'am. This is my first time I'm attending this session.
So welcome.
Yes, and I always like to read about frequencies, but then since this is my first time, I may be sounding very silly in asking these questions, and if it is that, then my apologies.
No,
but
that's okay.
just being for the first time, I need to ask is that how do we ascertain the calibration required for a body of an individual? Everybody is different, right? Everybody is
Yes,
different
correct.
and needs to work on a different level when it comes to healing with frequency. So, and depending on their lifestyle. So, is there a standardized frequency that works for everyone, or how do we assess the calibration required for a particular body in terms of required frequency that he or she needs to absorb in their body? And also, what is the correlation between food and frequency?
So, my understanding of Healy, and there's probably other people here as well that might know more than I do, but my understanding of Healy is that it has a sensor in the device itself, and the programs are actually created in a way that the sensor is actually communicating with the body every 20 seconds, yeah, and actually asking the body, do you still need this frequency or not? So, and if the body says, I don't need this frequency, then it will stop sending that frequency. Yeah. So when we're looking at the frequency programs of the Healy, they're actually created based on the sensor that analyzes the body, and it actually sends the frequencies, or it doesn't sense the frequency. So it actually is harmonically based on what your body needs. Yeah. When we look at the connection of foods and frequencies, right? We know that certain foods, and they've been measured, have higher frequency than others. Yeah. But that doesn't mean, for example, and I want to actually say this out loud, is I had people, I had people that stopped eating meat because they thought that because it's meat is low frequency, they don't need that, so they want to be high frequency. Yeah, so they went completely plant-based, didn't do the proteins and things like that. But their body was not there to actually handle that kind of transition. So we need to actually be aware of what our body needs in this moment, not what our ego wants to have. So ego can sometimes want to be, oh, I'm going to be high frequency, I'm going to be high vibrating. That's perfectly fine, and we can actually access that. But currently in the physical reality, in a 3D state, which is a dense energy, we need to also honor our body and where it's at. So one thing is what we would like to have, and one thing is where we're actually at. So if our body is currently needing more lower frequency foods in order to regenerate, in order to actually expand and hold more light, then we need to honor that. And then when we actually have that foundation built, and we are actually applying frequencies and helping our body to expand and hold more light, then we can naturally transition to high frequency foods. And your body will, if you actually have a relationship with your body will actually tell you when you need a certain food and when you don't need a certain food. So instead of analyzing that within our heads, oh, I want this, or I don't want this, or I should be eating this, or should be eating that, because it's low frequency or high frequency, we need to also honor what our bodies need and listen to our body to tell us when we need to transition. Yeah. So it's not about, either or. It's about honoring and meeting us and ourselves and our body where we are. Yeah. And I think that is something that is crucial, because a lot of people, in my experience, and I'm not saying that this is everywhere, but in my experience and what I've had clients come to me, they had a lot of physical issues because they had a conflict within their body. Their mind was saying something and their body was needing something else, and they were causing harm to themselves instead of actually listening to the body and what it needs. Because that, when we start listening, we will shift the frequency faster, if that makes sense. That's my perception. And this is only my perception. Please, if it doesn't resonate, please don't take it. But this is my experience and my perception. Does that answer the question?
So what I understand is, ma'am, that that we have to listen to our body. You said it literally means that our body is conditioned to certain foods. So we cannot immediately change, rather we have to see what our body requires as per its condition up until now.
So
Is that correct?
you can change. This is my perception and my experience. I'm not saying that this is fact. I'm saying that if you try, you will see how your body responds, what your body responds to. Yeah. So for me, I'm all about exploring. So I tend to go one extreme to another and then find balance in between to actually understand my own boundaries and understand my body's boundaries, so I can listen to my body of saying, I need this or I don't need that. Because if I understand, if I say to myself and look at myself 20 years back, I was eating completely differently and I was performing completely differently and I was a completely different person. But today my diet changed because I changed, my frequency changed because I have let go of a lot of emotional baggage. I have expanded my physical body and energetic field. And I've changed as a person, not only mentally, emotionally, and physically, but also my physical appearance has changed. So when we are actually working on ourselves, we are automatically, when we're letting go of the stuck emotions and stuck energy that is actually contracting us, we are automatically expanding into the energetic field. We're becoming more etheric. Yeah, we're becoming more into spirit. Yeah, more than the physical body. But until we actually do that, we are still in a physical matter. And a physical matter is a low frequency matter. It's a low frequency energy. That means that we need to feed our body based on where it is. That doesn't mean it's good or bad. The low frequency matter doesn't mean it's a bad thing. It's just a different state. And a lot of people I see, they're labeling things, oh, if it's low frequency, it's bad. And if it's high frequency, it's good. So I need to be there. So we are looking at it from a black and white point of view, where energy and quantum field, that's not how they work. Yeah, so we need to actually start utilizing our intuition and actually trusting ourselves and our bodies instead of analyzing everything with our heads. But in Healy sense, yeah, looking at the Healy device, the more you apply frequencies, the more you are actually offering an opportunity for your body to start shifting into that balanced frequency, in that balanced state, which your body is meant to be in. Yeah, so, and that is unique for your body. Yeah, so if I run a program of, I don't know, let's look at Gold Cycle. Yeah, if I run a program of Pure, the same program that I will run or you will run, you will receive completely different frequencies that I would from the same program, because my body needs different frequencies than yours. And the sensor in the Healy actually senses what frequency I need, so it will send those frequencies. But then it will sense the frequency you need and it will send those frequencies, because it's applying the resonance effect as well in the body, bringing you back into balance of where you need to be as the body right now, in this moment. Because in quantum field, everything is in this moment. There's no past, present, future. It's right now. Everything's happening right now. Does that make sense? Does that answer the question? Oh, sorry.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for making me aware about that. I just wanted to ask you one more question, since you made me aware about low frequency and high frequency. Is there a reference level frequency for a human body? I mean to say, is there a tampered frequency that is required at Healy, which Healy has come out with a tampered frequency for a human body that is required for healing?
I don't know what you mean, like the frequency that you need to apply the Healy, or there is no, you can apply any frequency, because Healy actually sends harmonic resonance or harmonic frequencies to your body. So it's actually allowing your body to come back to balance. So it doesn't matter what frequency your body is actually vibrating. So it's going to actually find the neutral frequency, the resonating frequency that your body, of state of balance that your body needs to be in. So it doesn't really matter. Normally, from my knowledge, and I can be corrected if anybody else has a different knowledge, but normal body vibrates at around, I think it's 70 hertz, but I know that 0.7 hertz is the cell. Yeah. So, but if you look at, the frequency of the body, at, I think at 50, if I'm not mistaken, don't take me for granted here. So if I think it's at 56 that sickness starts in the body, and at 40 hertz, I think death starts, and I think it's 52 hertz, I think cancer starts. So there's different frequencies. You can Google it if you want to. They've been measured. You can actually look at it. And there was also actually research done years back with coffee, and that coffee actually drops your frequencies for 10 hertz, and it actually puts you in the body, in the frequency where the sickness in the body actually starts. So, and there was different research of what brings the frequency up. So you can actually Google, you know, the frequencies of the body, and you can see what the normal frequencies of the body are. This is average. This is not everybody, yeah. But it really doesn't matter, because with Healy actually it works with your body anyway, yeah, and it actually adjusts everything to your resonance, yeah, not anybody else's.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for answering that question. It was really informative. I have no more questions. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you. Okay. Today we have a whole list of people. Okay, Zakia, let's go to you, and then we have Kartika, and then I'll just run through the questions before. Oh my goodness, it's 1:45.
Hello.
Hello, Zakia.
Hi. Thank you for your very honest and well explained session today. Of course, I'll be just receiving my Healy. So first and foremost, I have been told to go for knee replacement, which I want to avoid because I have been constantly on steroids. I've been a chronic asthma patient. Over the years, I've been on steroids.
Sorry to hear that.
At the same time, I've been told for knee replacement. Now, of course, looking at it, I am going to try first Healy because I've yet to get started with it. So what would you suggest on this? Would it start with, because I think I'll need a demo for this.
So if you're quite new to Healy, right, if you haven't really used the Healy, I would suggest you actually go and attend the beginners training, which Healy actually offers as well, to actually start with things. And if you haven't been introduced to frequencies, then I would encourage you to start with gold cycles, yeah? So really start with gold cycles, with a spiral. That's a protocol starting at the top, going on the right side of the picture of the phone, and going into the centers, ending with balance, starting with pure, ending with balance. And if you decide to do 2 programs a day, morning and evening, then you literally just go one after another. So if you start with pure, then the evening will be the next one, then the morning will be the next one, then the evening will be the next one, and you literally just continue doing this, yeah, for a month. So I would encourage you to do that for a month, and then if you would like, some programs for joints are really good in after a month, or you can add another 3rd program if you would like to. In bioenergetic harmony, there's joints and bones, and there's also joints, I think it is in meridian. Otherwise, you can also search in the Healy Advisor search module. If you don't know what that is, please connect to your person that actually enrolled you. And you can write whatever concern you have in the search. So you go onto the magnifying glass on the bottom of the app, and you search whatever concerns you have at the top, and whatever package of programs comes at the top, you click that one, and it will come out with certain programs, and you can use those programs to actually support you. But I would definitely suggest, if you just started using Healy, to go on gold cycles first.
No, I haven't started. I'll be receiving my packet in a day.
Oh, so you haven't got the Healy yet?
No,
so you haven't
no,
actually.
so I haven't
okay, then definitely then definitely go on Gold Cycles first, and then add on anything that has joints and bones. You can also support
because
yourself.
they're very weak bones.
Sorry?
Bones are very weak.
That's what I'm saying. There's options of programs for that. As I said, I'm not a doctor. I can't answer any medical questions. But though, if you have the Healy, I would definitely suggest, again, go on Gold Cycles first to support and prepare your body. And there's a lot of other programs that you can use through the Healy Search app to actually support your joints and bones. If you would like to lower the inflammation together with Healy programs, you can also use herbs like ginger, and you can actually do like a poultice, like a pack over your knees or whatever you would like to, wherever the inflammation is, and leave it there overnight, because ginger draws out the inflammation. So that's also another support that you can do. But combine my belief, and this is my belief, yeah, in my experience, is combining tools together to help the body create an environment to heal faster is something that worked for me, and it created faster results. But everybody has their own choice. Please choose whatever works for you. Yeah?
That is fresh ginger, right?
Fresh ginger grated, yes. On a paper towel, and then use the paper towel, pop it onto the skin, and you can do like a wrap over it, like a plastic wrap if you want to, overnight. And keep doing it every night. Yeah, and add on Healy programs to actually support you. Yeah, perfect. Any other questions? Is that okay, Zakia? You're good?
That's right, yeah. In fact, I just got this that it has been just received. Okay.
No worries. Perfect. Welcome to the family.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, so the last hand is Kartika. Let's hear your question.
Yeah, hi Petra.
Hi.
First of all, thank you so much for your wonderful insights on the subject. So this is also my first webinar Zoom meeting that I'm attending on Healy. And so I have like 2-3 couple of questions to understand more about Healy. So first of all, Petra, my question is there any side effect with Healy? As in, for example, if program is not meant for me.
I'm sorry,
and
Kartika, but
if I use Healy,
I
like for
can't...
example, a wrong program, do you think that there is any side effect of Healy on the body?
So sorry, I couldn't hear you. You were interrupted. Yeah, you were cutting out. So if I understand your question, is there any side effects? So as I said, this is not a medication, and it does not heal, cure, or anything. Yeah, but we need to understand, as I've been saying multiple times, is that frequency creates waves through the body. Yeah, so imagine that, how do I do the example? It's like a mini earthquake. Yeah, so it's literally going to kind of start shaking things in the body, and whatever is stuck in the body is energy. Yeah, it's like a stagnant energy, or it's like water trapped in the stone, right? When there's earthquake, you're shaking things out, things will come out. Yeah, so if there's suppressed emotions, you will have emotional release. If you are using programs for detoxification, you will have toxins coming out of the body. So of course there might be, a healing crisis of detoxification not side effects, but symptoms like headaches and, fatigue, nausea, things like that can come up, right? So having those things as an awareness is that we need to understand that this is not a magic pill, right? We are actually creating an environment in the body that actually helps the body heal itself. But before it heals, it needs to eliminate things that are not working for the body. And that sometimes we interpret as it's getting worse than it's getting better, but it's actually the body healing itself and eliminating things out of the body that it doesn't need. Yeah. So of course, if you say that as a side effect, you can say it, but it's not a medication. Yeah. The only thing we need to be aware of is contraindications. Yeah, so if you're pregnant, or if you have epilepsy, if you have pacemaker, things like that. Yeah, because if you have a pacemaker, you can't use the microcurrent with bracelets, because the current goes through the heart, so that would actually can turn off the pacemaker. So it's not actually, we can't use that, right? So this is in contraindication in Healy. You can read that on their website, as well as in the information that you receive at home. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So one more question, Petra. So if somebody is at a normal frequency, say as you mentioned, around 70, then you think that a person needs Healy?
No, this is.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're interrupting, but if I understand you correctly, you are looking for trying to measure the frequency of the body and then understanding if the person needs Healy or not. Is that what?
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes. Correct.
This is a way of, so okay, so I'm going to be really honest and blunt here. I'm really sorry, but the quantum field doesn't work the way we think in a 3D mind. Yeah, so what you're trying to do here is analyze a field of possibilities that does not fit in the 3D mind. Yeah, so you can measure an average frequency of the body, but if you expand the body, the frequency of the body will change. So my suggestion is everybody needs Healy. That is my perception. Yeah, and that's how I'm looking at it in the world. That's why I'm doing education on this, because I truly believe everybody needs Healy in their life. Because it's not about where you at currently in the body, because we need to understand there's different elements here in the quantum field, right? So we are a physical vessel that has a certain frequency. Then we have an environment that's influenced by planets, sun, moon, and things like that. All of those have frequency. Even Earth has a frequency. So when those elements are changing frequencies, our DNA and our body is changing frequencies. So no matter what happens, quantum space and frequencies in the quantum space and in our environment are non-stop changing. So it doesn't really matter, because it's an ongoing energy. It moves non-stop. So it's not like a stagnant. If energy stagnates, we have a problem. That's where Healy comes in. It moves that energy out and transforms it. But if we are actually focusing only on who needs the healing, who doesn't, that's an analytical mind of a 3D brain that looks this way. So this is the narrow point of view, and the quantum field is everything else. So in my view, everybody needs a Healy, because everybody is in a physical body and everybody's going through a transformation, be it mental, emotional, be it physical. Yeah. So because if you're a woman, you have hormones. So trust me, in today's world, you need support. If you are a man or a woman today, you have emotions, and you're going through emotional crisis right now for the last few years. And trust me, I have people around me, everybody's going through emotional crisis. If I ask literally in this meeting, probably more than half people would raise their hand, they have emotional issues. Yeah. So I'm just saying that we are humans, we're going through a human experience, and we're trying to kind of understand ourselves, and Healy does that. It helps to bridge the gap between the seen and the unseen, and it helps us to get insights and more awareness of who we truly are and how we can balance that, both sides of this beautiful bridge. Yeah.
Yeah, so Petra, what I can understand is it also syncs with the frequency of the environment, of the planets, of
Yes. So if you actually look at, we had a training on deep cycle H protocol 2 weeks ago. The deep cycle H programs actually include the frequencies of other planetary elements like sun and other planets and the earth. So those harmonic frequencies are included into the programs of the deep cycle, because we are influenced by all of that around us.
Okay, so last question, Petra. So I'm coming again back to the question one, which we discussed, that, as you said, that there are other things that we need to do, like food, and we need to take care of sleep and health and everything. So you're trying to say that Healy only supports, as in we need to take care of our sleep, our nutrition, and our medical treatment if required, and only Healy supports. It doesn't. It's not that without taking care of sleep, nutrition, and other things, fluids, water intake, anything else, we can't just be dependent only on Healy, right? That is what my understanding is.
So I will ask you a question. When you learn to swim and you have the floaties, do you have them for life, or do you want to learn how to swim?
No, that's not for life. That's only for beginning.
So that's what I'm saying, right? So Healy does not cure, treat, or mitigate anything, right? It actually supports you to create an environment within your body in order for your body to heal. So eventually, we want to expand ourselves to the point that we become Healys, because we are Healys. We are capable of scanning the quantum field, but currently we're not there yet.
Oh.
So this is a bridge between where we are and where we are actually going. So in order to come to that point, we are supporting our body to expand and let go of things that we don't need anymore. And we are using Healy in order to help us bridge that gap. So Healy does not heal, does not cure anything. It is a supportive tool on so many levels. And it's an amazing tool on so many levels. And I work with energy since I was 7 years old. I see energy since I was 7 years old. And I love Healy because it actually helps me bridge the gaps, not only for me, but also for my clients. So that's why I'm doing education. This education is because majority of people they still think in a 3D world. Yeah. So you can't think with that mentality in a quantum field. It doesn't go together. You're going to be in conflict if you actually approach Healy and the way you do things with Healy in a limited way, because you're going to get limited results. Because quantum is all about the thought pattern, and thought is the smallest particle of the quantum field. And depending on your intention and your thoughts that you put into the field, you're going to get results back. So this is a completely different paradigm. Yeah, so that's why I'm stretching your brain here. Yeah, and I know it's tedious. Yeah, and I get it. But that's why I'm here, to literally challenge you to redefine your reality, to actually see beyond the limits that you are right now. Yeah?
Okay. Yeah, got it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay, last one, and because we are literally an hour over, seriously, and then we're done. Okay, Preeti, please.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much for taking my question. I know I just popped in, and this is just because of, next week, actually, I have an ACL surgery. I have a ACL tear in my knee, and because of which I'm going to have a surgery next week. So I just wanted to understand how, with the help of, Healy, what programs would I take to support, with for a better or a faster recovery of my knee.
I would actually invite you to join, if you haven't joined the Facebook group yet, join the Facebook group on the link. So there's a friend of mine. I had 2 friends go through surgery in the last 2 weeks. Yeah. And I've actually gave them the programs. And one of the friends actually popped the testimonial in our Facebook group. And she was supposed to be on medication, pain medication, for 5 days. She went off the medication after 2 days. Yeah. By using Healy programs. And she has been healing faster than the doctors are actually wanting. So she actually popped the programs in the testimonial. of what I gave her. So you can actually find that testimonial in the group and literally just look at the programs and you can use that. But the most important thing is to lower the inflammation, move the lymph, because you need to move the toxins out. And then I would definitely suggest going on a deep cycle afterwards. Yeah, so that's my recommendation. But you can look at the testimonial, and she popped all the programs she was using in there as well. If not, just ask me in that post, tag me, and I'll add things in as well.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Petra. I mean, amazing.
You're
a lot
welcome.
of education, and whatever you're doing is just amazing, because we're getting more insight to how to use Healy. I think that's so important and that's so required. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your feedback as well, for your question. Okay. Now I'm done. I'm not actually going to go through the messages in the chat because we are 1 hour over. Thank you everyone for actually staying for so long. I truly appreciate you. If there was questions that were not answered, please pop them into the Facebook group. Tag me into the post of the promotional post of this training in the group. The recordings are normally uploaded either on Fridays, the day after the training, or the beginning of next week. This week, I had a pretty full-on week, so the recording of the last week was uploaded today. Just have in mind, the link is at the top of the chat to join the group. Thank you for staying for an hour later. Hope I've answered majority of the questions. If not, we are moving into March next week, and we are moving into creativity and confidence and things like that. And we will look at some other programs, not so deeply into the body, so you can actually start being creative. But otherwise, I am planning the 3 months ahead. If you have any suggestions of what you would like to learn and what you would like to, dive deep into, just pop it into the Facebook group. Petra, I would like to learn this about this and this and this. Either if it's a shorter one, I'll do a Facebook Live in the Facebook group. If not, I'll create a proper training on that. Yeah, but as I said, if I don't reply into the private messages, I will reply into the Facebook group as much as I can. But then otherwise, you are a community. You can help each other and support each other as well with your knowledge. And I would love to see your knowledge shine as well, not just me blabbing all the time. So I thank you for everything. Have a great night, afternoon, morning, wherever you are. And I will see you next Thursday. Have a great weekend ahead.